was a test.
I'd like to take this minute to announce to everybody that we're going to call this meeting to an order, and we'll start with a minute for silent prayer or reflection. Amen. Terry, can you call the roll, please?
Here.
Harrison? Duran?
Here.
Kyle Niederman? Lisa Ramon?
Here.
John Maston?
Here. And now if you'll stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody need an executive session down here to my left? Executive session on anything? I don't think we do. Okay, now, do we have any calls to the public? No calls to the public? So that gets us down to recognitions and presentations. LHCEA let me know that she's going to be running late, so I'll push her down in the agenda.
Okay.
So let's go do our thing.
So good evening and thank you for being here. Tonight we are recognizing our National Board Certified Teachers. National Board Certification is the most respected professional certification available in education and provides numerous benefits to teachers, students, and schools. It was designed to develop, retain, and recognize accomplished teachers and to generate ongoing improvement in schools nationwide. National Board Certification is grounded in the National Board's 5 core propositions that describe what teachers should know and be able to do. The certification process is designed to collect standards-based evidence of accomplished practice. Candidates are required to complete 3 classroom-based components and pass an in-depth assessment. And I can share with you that this can be a very lengthy process, and our teachers have persevered through all of that to be here tonight. So joining me is Mr. Madsen, our board president, and also Christy Olson. Christy was the first teacher in Lake Havasu Unified School District to become board certified when she certified as a middle childhood generalist in 2002. She renewed her certificate in 2012 and is in the process of renewing for a second time. Christy serves as a full-time mentor teacher, and since certifying in 2002, she has mentored 32 LHUSD teachers through the process of National Board Certification. So thank you for being here. Sort of like a drum roll. So our first person tonight is Kathy Bagby. So as Kathy joins us up here tonight, she's certified in the area of career and technical education, Mrs. Bagby has been teaching for 29 years. She joined the Lake Havasu Unified School District in 2004. She has taught preschool and kindergarten and currently teaches introduction and advanced early childhood education at Lake Havasu High School. Her favorite memory of the process is logging in and realizing she's certified. Mrs. Bagby appreciates all of the emails, texts, and social media posts of congratulations. She would like to say thank you to Jamie Festa, Christy Olson, Marsha Becker, Christina Musselman, Courtney Zampona, and Marie Hendry. Congratulations. Our next recognition is Kelsey Gibbs. So as Kelsey joins us, she's certified as an early childhood generalist. Ms. Gibbs has taught kindergarten for 9 years in the Lake Havasu Unified School District. Ms. Gibbs says the national board process has taught me how to reflect on the why of what I teach and how I do it. It has given me the opportunity to look more deeply into my planning to ensure that all of my students are getting what they need. I am so thankful for my parents, boyfriend, and friends who always knew I would achieve this, and Christy Olson for recording all of my videos and walking with me through the process, including all the retakes. Congratulations. Our next person is Teresa Nigg. Teresa is certified as an early childhood generalist. Mrs. Nigg has been teaching for 18 years, 8 of those years with LHUSD. She taught kindergarten for 7 years, 2nd grade for 2 years, and 3rd grade for the last 8 years. Mrs. Nigg says the national board process has truly impacted my professional practice by helping me reflect on my students' individual needs. I have always understood the importance of building relationships with my students, but now I am utilizing that information to intentionally support each student based on their specific needs. I would like to thank my family for putting up with my early mornings and late nights at school, and I would also like to thank my husband for encouraging me to finish what I started during the many times I felt overwhelmed. Congratulations. And next we have Devin Mann. Devin is certified as a reading language arts specialist. Ms. Mann has taught for 9 years in both kindergarten and 1st grade. Ms. Mann's favorite memory of the national board process were the small group meetings where she had the opportunity to be around a group of teachers all working toward the same goal and sharing ideas to help each other succeed. She would like to thank Christina Musselman for helping her with all of her writing components and being available to help her with any questions she had. Congratulations. And our final recognition tonight is Christina Musselman. So as Christina joins us, she renewed her certificate and as a reading language arts specialist. Mrs. Musselman has taught for 17 years in the Lake Havasu Unified School District. She has been a reading interventionist and a 1st grade teacher. Mrs. Musselman says, when I first certified in 2011, my favorite memory was traveling to Phoenix for the summer institutes and coaching Saturdays as a lone wolf from Havasu and meeting other teachers. I would get asked by other coaches and candidates if I knew Christy and Aaron. They didn't know how small our town was, but I was always grateful to be able to reply yes and share that I had taught both of their daughters in 1st grade. They both encouraged me to pursue and coached me through the process. I'm thankful for the difference they've made in my career. For my renewal process, I was thankful to be able to see the growth in myself from the first time I achieved this and to reflect on the hundreds of children I've impacted over the years. I'm also grateful to be able to give back wearing the coaching shoes for new candidates. I want to thank Christy Olson and Courtney Zampona for believing in me, coaching me through the renewal process, and reading an endless amount of my work. I couldn't have kept my sanity without you. I aspire to be a Christy and thank her for sharing her ways with me. Congratulations. If we could just give one more round of applause, this is a huge accomplishment for each of these teachers. Taking the photos. Congratulations.
And now our next recognition is for Mighty Minions of Oro Grande.
So at Oro Grande Classical Academy, the robotics program is spearheaded by Molly Hooks and Tara Smith. So they will be joining us with their challenge team, better known as the Mighty Minions, who have been hard at work on their innovation project in robot design and building, mission coding, and core values. And they will be giving us a little bit of information about all the work they've been doing.
You can just pull it up.
There you go.
Tells me I need to hit the gym a little bit harder. Okay. We are kind of relieved that a lot of people took off and left because we have some nervous people, me included. So we're going to do this together, okay, you guys? Thank you, LHUSD Board and Superintendent Stone, for inviting the Mighty Minions here today to honor their achievement this past robotic competition season. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Tara Smith, and this is Molly Hooks, and we are the first LEGO League FLL coaches for the Mighty Minions. Here's our Minions.
Hi, I'm Cash.
Hi, I'm Noah.
Hi, I'm Jackson.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie.
Hi, I'm Alexis.
Hi, I'm Camilla.
Hi, I'm Eli. We also have two team members who could not be with us today, Ashlyn and Rosie.
Okay, just a quick history of our FLL program that we have. It all started in the spring of 2018. At this time, we were looking to add a complementary STEM activity to accompany the outstanding STEM program that is already in place and run by our very own Stephanie Holmes. With encouragement from an engineering friend, because we're all a little crazy, we selected to join the robotics family of FIRST. FIRST inspires young people to be science and technology leaders and innovators by engaging them in exciting mentor-based programs that build science and engineering and technology skills that inspire innovation and that foster well-rounded life capabilities, including self-confidence, communication, and leadership.
We started with 6 students in what was known as FLL Junior, now FLL Explore. In the fall of 2018, the Rotary, with a partnership with ASU, wished to bring robotics into our local schools and donated LEGO Mindstorm sets and a robot game board. This allowed us to jumpstart our older student program, ages 9 to 14. as they started to learn to build and code. In the fall of 2019, we launched our foray into the FLL Challenge competition arena. Truthfully, we had no idea what we were getting into. But with wonderful encouragement and support from the First Family and the drive and enthusiasm from our students, we set off on this crazy journey together.
So we competed in our second Arizona Regional virtually this past February and qualified for the Arizona State Championships. Whoop, whoop. All right. We were all just a little excited. Actually, I ran up to the screen to read like that says we're going to the championships. We were all a little speechless, including our minions, just for a moment. And then we did our victory lap with Bob the Minion. The Minions worked so hard from our regional into state championships. In a 3-week time period, they built a new robot, programmed an additional mission, created and edited new films, updated speeches, and so much more. They also had to come in twice during our spring break to compete. One day to film the robot games for scoring, and then for their Zoom judging sessions, and finally for their award ceremony. The Minions are now one of the top 24 teams in the state of Arizona.
Now the fun stuff. What in the world goes on at a FIRST robotics competition? There is always an overall theme, which I love themes. For all FIRST divisions, this year it is the FIRST Game Changers powered by Star Wars, Force for Change.
We have 4 areas that we are judged in. The first area is the robot design presentation. We have to prepare a 5-minute presentation that included information on
our robot design and our robot Bobby Sr. and our attachment, our software programs and how they work, and finally our strategy or approach to the robot game missions.
The second area is the robot game. We are provided with a list of missions that can be completed on the game board for points as the start of the season. The goal is to complete as many missions as possible in a 2.5-minute time frame.
At the regional, we scored 185 points. By state, we broke the 200-point barrier for the first time, and we scored 240 points by adding another mission.
All right, the third area is the innovation project, and this is really, truly one of the biggest parts of what they do. Each team prepares a 5-minute presentation to explain their innovation project, which is coming up with a real-world solution to a real-world problem. This year's challenge was, how and where can we help people be more active? Hey, Minions, what was the problem you found out, and how can we help our community be more active?
Minions ready.
Yep.
Hey you guys, guess what I found out? Only 1 in 3 children and 1 in 4 adults in the United States get the recommended levels of physical activity.
Well, I heard on average, children in the U.S. spend 4 to 6 hours a day watching or using screens, and teens can spend up to 9 hours.
What? Really? That's crazy, because I found out that low levels of physical activity can contribute to weight gain, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and several cancers.
Wow, now that's a problem. Our team did a lot of research, and we determined that our problem is that people are not being active enough due to the lack of motivation and not having the money or the correct equipment.
We found out that it is recommended that a person at least gets 150 minutes of moderate activity a week.
That's approximately 30 to 45 minutes of physical activity a day.
In our research, we identified many benefits of exercise.
It can reduce anxiety and depression.
It helps a person lose weight.
It improves a person's sleep.
It decreases a person's chances of suffering from a heart attack.
And one study shows that people who exercise usually got better grades than those who didn't exercise.
Knowing all the benefits and how important exercising is, our team was determined to find a solution.
We began brainstorming solutions that will help motivate people by combining technology and fitness together.
We spent several meetings brainstorming different places that we can exercise in our city. As a team, we came up with a ton of ideas. Then we discussed the pros and cons for each location, which included the price, age limit, and availability.
As a team, we decided that one thing we wanted to make sure was that our innovation project was sustainable by reusing already existing equipment. Then we had a light bulb moment.
There are 14 free stations located at one of our city's parks called Rotary Park.
Our team agreed that Rotary Park was the best place for us to focus on because everyone, no matter their age or fitness level, had access to all the exercise stations.
We agreed that the equipment was still in good shape, but we can improve it by adding technology to it.
Our team's final solution was to create short motivational how-to videos for each of the 14 exercise stations at Rotary. These videos would be available for anyone with a smartphone to access through a QR code.
QR stands for Quick Response. QR codes were invented in 1994. The main purpose of QR codes is to get quick and reliable responses. The United States has one of the highest QR code usage rate, which makes the QR code the perfect thing for us to use for our project.
In our research, we found that 81% of Americans own smartphones. That gives us a wide audience that we can reach and impact.
We had 2 experts come to talk to us and teach us about various factors that could help us motivate individuals to be active. From these presentations, our team considered key words to say, as well as colors and music to add to our videos.
As a team, we took our first field trip to Rotary Park to film our videos. We filmed 3 different stations: the stretch and strength bars, the leg press, and the 2-sided rotator.
Great feedback was given to us regarding our videos from various community members. We took this information into consideration when we refilmed our videos, including adding a visual timer so that the viewers are aware of the time.
We also added talking about the specific muscle groups that we were using, and we wore our bright yellow shirts to add a fun splash of color.
After we had fun being movie stars, we worked extremely hard to edit our videos and then convert them into QR codes.
So we are wondering, are you ready to join the Mighty Minions for a little fitness fun?
Good job, you guys. We aren't used to having to use a mic, so we didn't know how to actually do this. So this was our first time. So thank you for being patient with us. And the final component is the first core values. Each team has to demonstrate first core values throughout the entire season and beyond.
The first core values are discovery. We explore new skills and ideas. Innovation. We use creativity and persistence to solve problems.
Impact. We apply what we learn to improve the world. Inclusion. We respect each other and embrace our differences.
Teamwork. We are stronger when we work together. Fun. We enjoy and celebrate what we do.
We just want to say thank you for letting us share about our program today, because we are just beyond proud of the accomplishments that these kids have done. They come in, they work, we sit back, we are mentors, we in no way do any building, any coding, even when they want Mrs. Hooks to do some. And we are beyond proud of what they have done in just a small amount of time. So rock on, Minions.
We would just like to thank you so much for presenting to the audience, but also to us tonight. You know, we can see that this takes a lot of research and creative problem solving, and then a lot of work to go to competition. But it looks like you had a lot of fun, which is also the important part. And I know your teachers are just super proud of all the work you have done, and we are thrilled that you came to present to us. And I'm sure there are some others who would like to say some things to you for just a moment.
I know I would. This makes me very proud. You guys are just an awesome example of what we can do here with education, and a lot of it is due to the hard work of the coaches over there. They put in a lot of hours. This is kind of what we're about here here in town. We're trying to do this for the kids. These kids are having more and more opportunities. STEM is very important for kids to get opportunities, and you can see what it's doing them both, just in learning, but also in doing their presentation skills and things like that. So I am just very proud of you guys.
I'm happy because you came up and you showed us what you've done. Which one of you is Henry? Because there's always a Henry in the Minions. There you go. There's Henry and Henry's kid.
Thank you.
Even better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again. The expert on putting this back. Sorry.
I'll make sure I do it. I'll do it right now. And also who stuck in while we were all doing this stuff was Kyle. Just want to make sure you actually saw Kyle come in. Okay. Lake Havasu Education Association, Carol Nokowski, she contacted me and said that she was going to be late getting here today, and it's understandable with what she's got going on, but we may bring her back up at a later time. That gets us down to item number 4. Do I have a motion on 4 from the board?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Kyle seconded.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lucy Roman,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes.
Archiana Alliar,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. And that gets us down to item number 6, which Mr. Murray will start us off on 6.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. It is recommended the governing board discuss and possibly take action on a request to exchange land between the Lake Havasu Unified School District Number 1 and Mr. Mayor Akhtarzad. The Lake Havasu Unified School District has received a request for an exchange of land. The district currently owns parcel 108-12-141, and Mr. Akhtarzad's real estate agent states that he owns parcels 108-12-139, and also 140 and 144 on Swanson Avenue. The request is to exchange the district's parcel with Mr. Akhtarzad's 108-12-144. The district may exchange unimproved property where the governing board determines that the property is unnecessary for the continued operation of the school district without requesting authorization by a vote of the school district electors. If the governing board determines that the exchange is necessary to protect the health, safety, or welfare of pupils, or when the governing board determines that the exchange is based on sound business principles. The exchange may be for unimproved or improved property of equal or greater value, or unimproved property that the owner contracts to improve, if the value of the property ultimately received by the district is of equal or greater value. If the board authorizes to move forward with an exchange, the exchange would occur after an appraisal for which Mr. Akhtarzad will be responsible, only if the district's property is of equal or lesser value than the other parcel, or improvements are made to increase the value obtained by the district would the exchange take place. A resolution for the land exchange must be signed by all board members present at the board meeting at which the land exchange is approved. The resolution will authorize the board president to sign the land exchange agreement. The resolution will also direct the district to record the deed. Per the resolution, the governing board president will be authorized to sign the deeds at a later date, and this item has been reviewed by the business department and the district's legal counsel.
This is the second time this has come before us, Mr. Murray. Did we have a request the last time it came up in front of us?
So yes, this has gone before the board on a few different occasions. Most recent was back in December of 2018. Just prior to that meeting, I believe it was in the month of November 2018, that the board took no action. However, they wanted to see that a memorandum of understanding was drafted. So our district legal counsel assisted in that process, and then at the December 2018 meeting, that was presented and distributed at that point. And from that point on, I know that there was some back and forth, a couple concerns on the part of Mr. Akhtarzad and his representation regarding several of the items in Section 5, and we have not heard back at that point. So and let me just give you a further, so as of the minutes in December of 2018's meeting, it did say that the land exchange would occur in accordance with a mutually agreed upon memorandum of understanding. And so that's where we were at that point, but it never came to a mutually agreed upon understanding.
And I'm sorry, is this Mr. Akhtarzad in the audience? Okay, thank you. Welcome to the meeting. Back in 2018, and this was just a draft of the memorandum, is that correct? This was?
Yes. Yes, we worked with our lawyer to come up with it.
And so back in 2018, were you just not ready to move forward with this agreement, or were there some objections?
There's a microphone.
Can you go to the microphone?
Microphone, please.
Sorry.
First of all, I want to thank all of you to give me the chance to be here. It's my pleasure to see the teachers and the students. Just to give a little story, if you don't mind, about my background so you know who I am. From 12 years old, I left Iran, went to England. I went to school in England, in Oxford. I got my degree, then I went back to Iran. Revolution happened, I came back, I went to Los Angeles. In reality, I'm a business owner. I own video and audio center chain stores, which I'm one of the biggest electronic stores across America, in internet and everywhere. However, I'm an investor, developer as well. I have some investments. One of my operation managers who moved here bought a property and built the land through her, and she has a housing here. She's the one who actually introduced me to Lake Havasu. She said, Mayor, my family live there, I'm moving there, it's a nice area. Why don't you come and open a branch over here? And I said, I don't like to go out of LA, but let me see what it is. as far as business is concerned, because I have multiple stores in Los Angeles or around. I came here for business. I got to see the Lake Havasu College, which it was just recently then changed over. And through her, she gave me the idea, and I said, you know what? At that time, my son was going to college himself, Boston University. He graduated from there last year, actually. And I said, this is a very great idea. I would love to build something for the students here. I am for it, and I'd like to make a dorm. And I saw the lands across the college, and I said, this is a great idea. I would love to do it. That's how I came about the idea. Then I researched into the college. There was not enough students for me to come and build over 200 units where there was no demand. And while we were going back and forth, I got an offer from you that I had to start building within a couple of years. That was the biggest issue I had with that, because I said, I don't know what's going to happen in 2 years. I might start next year to build, but I might not, which actually we faced the COVID, and it just pushed everything backwards anyway. So at this point, basically, I already, as you know, own the 3 pieces of lands there, which is right next door to yours. And then 2 spaces further, I have the next one. That single one is not really good to do. I was planning to build one dorm for the students and the single one for the faculty. But then I realized it's not feasible. It's better if I take the property, the land from you, and make one main building, which, God willing, as soon as the colleges start and the students are coming back, and I hope you will have a lot more students, that the demand is there, I would like to come and build in 2 stages. First, in the front portion, which I would probably have in the front. I have some pictures to give you maybe some basic idea, but in the front, on the street level, I would like to put some mini stores, like a coffee, like a different Chinese, whatever the student might need. And then the 5 level that I'm hopefully 5 or probably 6 level I can build. I want to build it for dorms. And the last level for the faculty of the college. So the teachers or principals or whoever that they might need. So basically it's going to be dorms on the bottom. The first floor is going to be shops in the front. And I'm thinking of making maybe an international cafeteria on the bottom, where the students can come, have their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, who lives in the building, or maybe even from outside. They can sit down, eat, study, work on their computer, whatever. And on the upper level would be the dorms, and the last level would be for the faculty, which I was planning even to have an entrance for them from the back of street, so they don't have to face each other entering the building. So this is the basic idea that I have.
So you're envisioning a 4-story building? Did I understand that correctly?
I'm sorry?
Are you envisioning a 4-story
Yes.
building?
Yes.
I'm Amber Hoffman. I've been working on this project for a while now with Mr. Mayor. What we're actually looking to do, and it's pretty much been through the city knows kind of what we're up to, we can go up to 5 stories. And last time when we brought this to the attention, we did work out some ideas, what we could do with teachers. Everybody knows we have a lack of apartments. We have a lack of homes for people here, for the average person who's working. We know that the budget can't afford our housing market right now, so this is why Mayor decided to step in and actually go back at this again. Now COVID lifted, and we can actually start gun-holing on what we need to do. So that's why we're facing with you guys, back in front of you guys again, to try getting the land exchange approved.
Have you talked with the college at all, with ASU, with your plans?
Yes, we actually have talked to the college with the ASU. They're not going to be part of this. This is not going to be like a partnership or anything like that. But we are going to offer the dormitories, and then eventually down the road, we might partner up to be able to do the government grants to help out. But right now, we just need to get the building going so we can figure out what we're going to do from that point with ASU. They are well aware of what we're up to. We had meetings with them. We explained to them what we're doing because of the fact that you guys only have 3 buildings. Each building is only 34 units in there, and they're full. And so they push them out from freshman and goes to sophomore, and then sophomore they have to vacate the premises for the next freshmen to come in, so they don't have enough units for those kids that are going to start coming into school.
You are aware that you're asking for publicly owned land?
What was that again?
You're aware that you're talking about publicly owned land?
For the units we're asking to exchange?
Yeah, no. For what you're asking for us to give you in the exchange, you're asking for publicly owned land. Right now, this school district owns the lot that you're interested in.
Yes.
So that's publicly owned.
Yes.
And what are you willing to give up in order to get it?
Well, and that's another thing too. On our last meeting, this was approved on our last meeting that we would do the land exchange, but we had a contract we were going through and trying to go over the stipulations back and forth. So we actually came down. Hold on, I can't really see in here for some reason. It's really bad. I think we're actually looking to give and help you guys with, because I know you guys needed staffing for your staffing to bring them in. And I think Mayor was offering like a 15% discount per unit, and then it says until the total lease of $150,000 of rent discounts for your guys' for benefit package for any new teachers and stuff that are coming in.
That was our MOU to you that never got signed and returned.
Correct. Because we bounced back and forth trying to get it done. And we also tried going after the building right there that Bob Bennett owns. We tried working with Bob Bennett for about 9 months to get him to budge to actually sell. And he got a price on it, but it's not going to appraise for the price he wanted at that moment. So now it probably will appraise if we decide to go after that parcel. But right now, since we want to do this in segments, so we're going to do the first stage first, that's why we need to do the exchange with the school board with that land that's owned. And then we can go on to the next section if we can get Bob Bennett to cooperate.
So what is our incentive to help you?
Well, that's why we're here, to see if you guys will go any further on, if you would prove to actually do the exchange. Then
So maybe
can
the board has changed, is
work.
what I just heard? I heard you say maybe the board has changed enough that now I can get what I
I said
want.
if we can do the exchange, then we could sit down and go over another draft and maybe come to mutual minds so that we can move further with this. I know from the COVID, it actually took out almost, 13 or 14 months back.
My recommendation to you two is to start at going back and forth with our attorney.
Who drew this up?
That's who drew that up, was our attorney.
Okay.
One thing that, going forward that I think would be really helpful is if this is something, to move forward, kind of really keying in on that housing issue for our teachers and getting something very much more specific and how that would help, and working with our staff here to talk about, I'm talking about, making sure we know number of units, the prices that we might be able to use for our teachers.
We actually do have all that. Okay. We do. We have number of units that actually, it's already been preliminary done. We got number of units. We know about the average of what it's going to be for each unit. And then, like I said, if you look at this paper that we had from last time, this is pretty much down to it. We just had some notes that we bounced back and forth, and we can iron things out.
Yeah, seeing those specifics would help me to make a decision.
Excuse me, one thing I need to bring to your attention is the matter of the exchange, in my mind, actually is to the college benefit for a couple of reasons. Number one, the land I'm exchanging is larger than the land you're going to give me. Number two, the land I'm exchanging is further up, which is closer to the entrance of the college. So in reality, the city or the college, you have a school district, you have nothing to lose. You're gaining. You're getting a bigger land. And I'm getting a smaller land. The only difference is this is going to be attached to by 3 existing It's going to be better property to build. It's going to bring more students to the college. It's going to be very much better revenue. It's going to be totally different for the city. So the fact that even with what I do or what I don't do, once I build, you're getting a better land and I'm doing a better, thing for
I
the
think we should just put
benefits.
this out on a bill, a voted bill.
I'm sorry?
We should go to public auction on this land.
Oh, but the point is this. I don't want to buy it. So that's why the public auction is not going to do any.
Well, we're talking about an exchange where you're going to spend money anyway, so what's the difference?
Okay.
Well, because if we sell a parcel that's valued at greater than, I believe it's $50,000, then it has to appear on a vote for the entire public to
Oh,
vote
I'm
on it.
sure we should get the entire public's opinion on this.
Well, I don't object to having it for a vote, but it does cost money to put something on a ballot and the election, and then it becomes a question of how to recoup the costs for
Well,
that.
let's wait till the next election to do it.
Yes, but you do still have to pay for something to appear on the ballot.
Oh, I know. I know what I'm saying up here. I really do understand that. But I think what you're going to do is you're going to get this at a lesser amount of money than what you're thinking.
Wait, for the exchange?
On the exchange, yes.
Well, if they both appraise for the same,
It cost this district $80,000 to put something on a ballot.
Right, but that's why they're proposing the swap in the first place?
yeah.
I understand that, but he's avoiding the $80,000 just right there.
He doesn't
That
care. We'll
he
write
would
a
have
check
to pay
right
it.
now for the $80,000.
He better care because he would have to pay it if it gets there.
Well, he's offering to pay for the appraisal for both properties. He's also paying any expenses that goes with it for the exchange.
I'm not sure we're even ready to act on this right now, the way we're talking about it.
I would actually agree with that. I think that my feeling is, based on what I have in front of me and what I'd like to have in front of me, I would like to have more specifics about what a rental unit would cost, how many would be available to teachers and to students.
Okay. Can I, the cost of the building alone is gonna be something totally separate than the cost of what it's gonna be for the rentals. If I give you a price on a rental right now, in 2 years down the road, that price is not gonna be the same. Just like if we would have started this in the contract, they told us that we had to start erecting the building in 2 years. COVID happened. How are we supposed to erect a building in 2 years? Then that would have been a massive loss.
It would be my motion to go back to the MOU process based on our discussion here.
What was that?
We should go back to the MOU process that we were working out with our attorney.
Okay, so where
That
do
was
we
a
go
motion.
from
Do I have
here?
a second?
My question is, where do we go from here? Do we continue on to do the approval to keep going with this, or do we make a point with just the attorney so we can sit with the attorney and go over the numbers and everything? Like, I need to know where we need to go from here. We had an approval back in 2018, and we were bouncing back and forth, and then we have the documents here too, what they're trying to iron out.
I will make a motion again. I move that we go back to the MOU process with the attorney,
Okay,
and that we put you in the position where you have to sign off on the MOU in order to move forward. Do I have a second? Because we gave them an offer back in 2018.
I just need to clarify, with going back with them doing an MOU, would that be them providing all the information that member Roman and I are asking for?
I believe so.
Then I would second that motion.
And all the expenses will be borne by them, the attorney and everything else.
And that should be in the MOU.
So, yeah, I mean, we will vote on that motion, but it does sound like if that motion passes, that the next step in the process would be to revisit the MOU and see if we can come to agreement through our
okay,
attorney
all right.
on terms.
So with the next, if it goes further, the next process, you guys want to, we'll bring in all the information that we brought in before, but now I'll update it, obviously, today's date because of everything that's going on and prices and things that happened.
So we do have a motion and a second, and I am hearing additional information that everyone would like, and we can certainly make sure that we coordinate to get that additional information. But I want to be clear that there was no approval. There was simply a draft memorandum of understanding, and we were working through that process. And now we'll go back to this draft again and add the additional information that they have requested. And once that goes back and forth, they will determine if they would like to move forward at that point.
Thank you for clarifying that, because that's true. We have not reached an agreement. We're just asking you for more specific terms.
And also, whether or not anything goes through, those expenses are to be borne by them, and that should be clarified before the MOU, because we may not end up having an MOU. So we need some documentation to make sure that that takes place.
Okay.
Okay.
I will amend as needed.
So just, can you clarify the motion on the floor?
My motion is that we go back to the MOU process, and we've also added to that expenses are paid by the applicant.
Whether or not anything goes through.
Correct.
And I second it.
Okay, I think we're ready for the question.
Archiana Aliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Eric Duran,
Yes.
John Masden.
Yes.
Okay, so now where do we go from here?
Well, the draft MOU was presented back in December, and we never heard back, received feedback on that MOU. So at that point, the MOU was never executed, so there's no MOU. So we just need to make sure you know what was presented through board collaboration in drafting this MOU. So this was what was specified in that process with the district's legal counsel. That was turned over to you. As I mentioned, there were some concerns with some of the bullet points, but we never received those concerns back to address that. And that's kind of where we're at today. We need to hear back from you with also the additional requested information from the board that was given to you at this time, what they're requesting at this time.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we've got 6.2, the approval of purchase of Majority Clarity.
Mr. President, members of the board, it is recommended that the board approve a 3-year purchase of the Major Clarity platform to replace AZCIS. The annual amount is to not exceed $4,300 a year. ADE stopped supporting the AZCIS program in August, which was used as a resource for students in grades 8 through 12 to support college and career readiness plans. It was also used for the mandatory reporting of education and career action plans, known as ECAP, that were put in place in 2008 by the Arizona State Board of Education for all 9th through 12th grade students. An ECAP reflects a student's current plan of coursework, career aspirations, and extended learning opportunities in order to develop the student's individual academic and career goals, as well as post-secondary plans. Counselors at the high school and middle school, along with the CTE coordinator and the Director of Special Services, reviewed resources and list of platforms provided by ADE and are recommending the purchase of Major Clarity to support college and career readiness and meet the ECAP mandate. The annual cost will be $2 per student participant for an estimated $4,025 per year for grades 8 through 12. Comparative program rates range from $3 to $3.50 per participant per year. The Technology Department has reviewed and approved the program for privacy and security requirements. Funds from ESSER 2 or WAVE CTE will be used to pay for the purchase. And Mrs. Becker is here tonight if there are any additional questions that she may need to address on your behalf.
Do I have a motion on 6.2?
I move to approve.
I second.
Do we have any discussion?
Just as one anecdote, I really value the importance of programs like these to help students and guide them and keep them on track and focused. Just as a personal anecdote, I heard from a friend today who had met with her high schoolers' counselors, and she was really impressed with that counselor's ability to kind of take notes on what her daughter's career aspirations were and recommend specific courses that aligned with those aspirations. So programs like these, I do think that they are well worth the expense.
And I know when this came up, one of my concerns about it was just seeing what it was replacing. And it sounds like, well, I was relieved of my concerns that it's doing that and more of the current program, and it's less expensive. So we're supporting the program, we're supporting kids, and we're being financially responsible by approving this.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes.
Marciana Alliar,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. Mrs. Stone, at 6.3, that's you.
Okay. Mr. President, members of the board, it is recommended that the board approve the purchase of Illuminate DNA as the assessment platform for all LHUSD schools. Teachers will implement this platform during the 21-22 school year. The total cost of setup, training, and licenses for the program in year one will not exceed $60,000. The district currently utilizes Galileo as the district assessment platform in ELA and math. Galileo no longer meets the security requirements for students' data privacy required by ADE. We worked with teachers to determine the features needed in an assessment platform, which included a user-friendly platform that supports benchmark, formative, and summative assessments, integrates with Synergy, houses all assessment results to include state testing and reporting features that support data analysis to improve instruction. Our core knowledge assessments will also be imported into the system, so we are better able to assess student progress in the curriculum and support intervention as needed. DIVLs will continue to be used to assess all students' reading skills K4. This contract has been reviewed and approved by legal, and the item has been reviewed by purchasing. I would also like to share that Galileo and MAP assessments together cost about $70,000. So in year one, this is $60,000, a little bit less. And then in years, further years, that number goes down to about $40,000.
Does this platform also support pre, mid, and post assessment?
It does.
I'd like to get a motion on 6.3.
I will, go ahead.
I move to approve 6.3 as presented.
Second. One other thing I would add that was kind of in the midst of what Dr. Stone was saying, you heard her say that it helps with, assess core knowledge. So this is something that really aligns with the curriculum changes that were made, so we're not piecemealing it with different programs. Other schools who are using core knowledge use this in concert with it as well. So it's a good piece. Once again, it's a better system, and it's saving money, helping kids, fiscally responsible.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes.
Marciana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. Okay, Mr. Murray, the next two are yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. It is recommended the governing board approve the comprehensive annual financial report, the single audit and USFR questionnaire for fiscal year 2020. The Lake Havasu Unified School District is required to obtain an annual financial audit because the district expends $750,000 or more in federal funds, subject to the requirement of the Single Audit Act amendments of 1996 and the implementing regulations of the Office of Management and Budget. The audit firm of Heinfeld and Meach has provided their final report, and the report has been sent electronically for your review. Copies of the report will be provided to the Arizona Department of Education, the Auditor General's Office. Electronic copies of the above listed items were sent to the board prior to the meeting, and the public may request an electronic copy of the audit from the Superintendent's Office. A permanent copy of the report will be kept on file in the business office for future reference. And just by a little bit more of background, this comprehensive annual financial report is just another form of financial transparency. It's not required by statute to have a comprehensive annual financial report. We have the annual financial report that went before the board in October. The auditing firm also did an audit wrap-up presentation to the board in late October. I believe it's October 29th. And what the CAFR does do, again, it assists with another form of financial transparency, as well as satisfies some of the continuing disclosure requirements that the district has to abide by as a result of having bond issuances that are outstanding, and outstanding bonds that are out there currently still in debt service payment. So this is just for you to review, and again, it's not necessary to take action, but we put it in the form of an action item to make the public aware that this information is there for viewing.
I thank you for giving us the background on that. You know, transparency is so very important. So, and I appreciate that we do go above and beyond in that area with our finances.
I move that we would approve 6.4 as presented.
I'll second.
Eric Moran,
Yes.
Marciana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Peterman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. Okay, Mr. Murray, now 6.5.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. It is recommended the governing board approve a request to begin the application process and advertise upcoming vacancies for 2 employee benefit trust board positions. In alignment with ARS 15-382C, the amended agreement and restated declaration of the Lake Havasu Unified School District Employee Benefit Trust states the trust will be administered by either 5 or 7 voting trustees appointed by the LHUSD Governing Board. The trust agreement stipulates that EBT trustees serve a 3-year term, and with the restated agreement may only serve 2 consecutive 3-year terms. 2 current EBT trustees' terms expire on June 30th, 2021. The application process will be open to all interested individuals. A member whose term is expiring may reapply, conditional to the terms outlined in the trust agreement. The governing board will follow policy EIC, Self-Insurance Programs Employee Benefit Trust, adopted on October 17th, 2017. It is anticipated the move to the Northwest Arizona Employee Benefit Trust LHEBT board terms will not extend beyond 2022. You can see the board members down below and their expiration of their terms. And just to clarify, that move to the Northwest Arizona Employee Benefit Trust has already taken place. However, the EBT is still operating because we still have a run-out period for claims that have yet to be paid. So it's anticipated that that trust will continue as stated, hopefully not beyond 2022.
I move that we approve 6.5 as presented.
Second.
I do have one question. The 2 members who their terms are expiring in June of this year, is there for both of them their first term and thus they're eligible to reapply?
Yes, they both are eligible to reapply. And I believe they're considering doing that. So we'll see though.
Marciana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Peterman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. Okay, that takes us to Jamie's turn.
Mr. President and Governing Board, it is recommended that the Governing Board approve the contract for services with Educational Services Incorporated for the Subsource Program for the 21-22 school year. LHUSD is recommending the continuation of contracted services with ESI. Had LHUSD employed long-term substitutes during the 2021 school year, our cost for health care, benefits, and accrued leave would be approximately $95,000 for the year. Through March 4th, LHUSD has spent $373,000 with ESI for Subsource to pay for substitutes. ESI provides substitute fares throughout the year to grow the certified and classified substitute pool. They also provide training and onboarding services that are determined by LHUSD to align with our goals. ESI currently provides 54 substitutes for LHUSD. Employers must permit employees to accrue and use up to 40 hours of paid sick time per year. ESI will continue to track this benefit and pay for all eligible sick time without impact to the availability of substitutes for the district. Our substitutes will continue to work with our sub-coordinator and use Frontline to accept jobs. Our teachers and administrators will continue to be able to request specific substitutes through Frontline, work with our substitute coordinator, and provide feedback. The cost to the district will continue to be 10% of the daily rate of substitute pay. ESI is currently on an MESC contract. The contract has been reviewed by purchasing and legal. And so I just want to clarify, we would still be paying subs without ESI. Then the amount we would be paying would be less than 10%, but we would then be picking up $95,000 in healthcare benefits and accrued leave, and we would have to track and give substitutes absences based on Arizona law.
Questions or a motion?
I move to approve item 6.6 as presented.
I'll second.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Harry Coran,
Yes.
Archiana Alliar,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. One more, Jamie, that's yours.
Mr. President and Governing Board, LHUSD Technology Department recommends replacing 70 student computers at Thunderbolt with new Lenovo computers with a 3-year manufacturer's warranty at a total purchase not to exceed $40,000. Replacing aging computer systems in 2 of the full-time computer teaching lab classrooms at Thunderbolt, 70 total. The existing systems have been in use for 3 to 5 years. The existing computers will be refurbished in-house and replace student computers elsewhere that aren't used as frequently throughout the day that are marked for recycle. The vendor chosen is DHE Computer Systems. During planning for the 2017 and 2020 bond issuance, funding for replacement of student computers were approved. The current bond issuance provides funding for the district-wide replacement. Total purchase price not to exceed $40,000. 3 separate vendor quotes were obtained. DHE matched our needs by way of product, price, and availability. The computers will be prepared and installed by the LHUSD Technology Department this summer and be ready for use beginning at the beginning of the school year for 2021-22. This has been reviewed by purchasing and legal.
Questions, motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 6.7 as presented.
Second.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Harry Coran,
Yes.
Archiana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. Okay, Mr. Murray, it's your turn again.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, it is recommended the governing board approve vouchers for March of 2021, as well as student activity funds and auxiliary funds for February 2021.
We'll entertain a motion on this.
I move to approve 6.8 as presented.
Second.
Harry Coran,
Yes.
Archiana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes. Item number 7 is informational for the superintendent, the directors, governing board members, and advisory committees.
I would just congratulate all our nationally board certified teachers again and thank our mighty minions for coming to talk with us. It is hard to believe we are in the final quarter of this school year. So lots of planning is being done for our end of the year events and as well as summer school, and that information will be coming out to parents here as soon as we have all of that finalized.
I have some informational, just that LHUSD is offering summer STEM camps. And so there's been information that has gone out. Look for it, information to the parents, the website, go to the school website. If that's something you're interested in, check it out. I think it's something that's really neat. It's part of all of this thing, the big kind of collaborative in the town that kind of goes along with what the Mighty Minions were doing, sponsored by the Rotary and by LHUSD and K-12. So look for that. It's a really great opportunity for your kids in going from 4th through 8th grade.
And this is not an informational item, it's more of a request, but I would like our board and our directors to consider the possibility of returning to the boardroom for future meetings, if not next month, possibly the month after. Just something to consider.
Any other informational reports? Looking left, looking right, not hearing anybody. I would just like to let people know that the next scheduled board meeting is May 4th. That's on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. And unfortunately, Lisa, it's scheduled here.
This can be changed.
We'll get it straightened out. Okay, and then past that is communications and call to the public. Do we have any calls to the public? No calls to the public? And do we have any press or media clarifying questions out there? Okay, then with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes.
Marciana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
John Maston.
Oh, yes. We are adjourned.